Oh, all right, guys. Appreciate you guys joining us here at Simtrax Broadcasting. We are here for the Budweiser Shootout. This should be pretty exciting here for these guys to get ready. This is locked and loaded here. Drivers already gridded. What do you say we take a look already and immediately head straight to that? Where Vincent Arthur and Josh Conover, they'll be up toward the front, but that seems a little confusing, seeing exactly how Vincent Arthur and Josh Conover are rocking, rolling out there in the 24 machine. A little kind of peculiar here. Seems right now Conover will be racing in the 48. Looks like Nick Presley sitting in the triple in the 0, and Kevin Baumler sitting down in 4th. Dalton Tucker, Brady Moats, Ryan Housden, and Wayne Sparks. New driver there, sitting in the 8th position. Drake Christenberry sits 9th. Nick Geilis sitting in the 10th spot. Cody Smith in the 11. Looks like we are going to be moving on to Christopher Heights, sitting in 11th, following the rest of our field here. Nick Ham and Jacob Gladelick will be out there on the track. Looks like it's going to be a scramble here tonight for everybody to get going. New setup, everything looking fancy out here. We're getting ready to go. They are going to have a competition caution here starting on lap 12. They'll be having an opportunity to come down, get fuel and tires, which is going to be exactly what they did back in the day on 2005. Already, little kickoff here with an exhibition. Stella joining alongside me here tonight, watching our previous pole sitters of the previous season here, getting ready to gun it out and shoot it out here to figure out who gets the claim to fame at the Budweiser Shootout.
Yeah, these guys are already sticking right close together. I love this. They are not even going to need a stage caution. They keep up this good draft.
Yep, so far so good. Right now, notice how our new layout here to the left, colors aren't going to matter here, but we'll be wiggling a few things around here and there. I hope you guys were able to tune in to the Tulsa Shootout for the National Racing Association. These guys kicked it off a little bit out there in the dirt, which was pretty exciting, and now we get them back onto the asphalt. All right, stage 1. So you'll see we have 11 laps left to go here out of a 42-lap race is what we've got chalked up for you guys here tonight. Fortunately, they will have a couple sets of tires down in pit road. Quick throwback to the 2005 season. You see that number 48 car right there in the front. That is going to be, actually was the in real life winner here of the shootout, where Jimmy Johnson actually won it. You would think it would be a rain delay that would end up putting him in the winner's circle there for the Budweiser Shootout, but actually it was a 4-tire pit stop call when a lot of drivers had gone out there and done a 2-tire pit stop call. So that's what ended up winning Jimmy Johnson the shootout race there in 2005. We'll see if that actually becomes an issue here tonight. I want to know, right, kind of big question is if anybody decides to take 2 tires here at this super speedway here at Daytona, if that is going to mean a ton of difference out there. Guys kind of switching back and forth whether or not a 4-tire pit stop call is going to be the winning call here, or is it going to be 2 and these guys go ahead and get back out there. Right now, currently still in the lead here is Josh Conover. I'm noticing a driver, Nick Presley, has actually been falling backwards though, as right now pretty unfortunate there for his run here. So supposedly he is having some trouble out of that race car, getting real tight into the turn. Currently down in 9th, started in 3rd. Like I said, guys, we're going to have a whole new setup here. Definitely help you guys, and especially us here in the booth, of the setup that we're going to be building here. Stella, what is your outlook here, seeing how these guys are already doing pretty well out there, and the 24 getting real loose?
Yeah, he's not only getting loose, he's taking a middle lane there. Nick Presley coming in on the inside, gives him a little bit of boost, and there goes our target car, kissing the wall.
Yeah, that unfortunately being Ryan Housden out there. He's in a little bit of a shake up there as he ricochets off the wall. There's our driver out of Pennsylvania. All right, now following behind the number 3 of Dalton Tucker. Going ahead and throwing it out there.
A lot of contact going on up there. Really surprised. And like you say, Nick Presley moving back. He was up there right in 2nd, pushing Vincent Arthur at the beginning of the race. Now he's way back in 12th.
Yeah, drivers starting to single file out here. It's going to be pretty, I would say, pretty difficult out there. I think these guys have been on a little bit of a hangback here. 2 months, these guys haven't really seen each other, and now they are running side by side trying to let these guys throw it into the turns at over 190 miles an hour. So that's going to be very, very difficult. Honestly, Stella, I would expect a caution here, but it looks like single file. Guys are starting to figure it out. And Conover and Nick Gillis nose to tail here in the 1 and 2 spot and moving on through. Right now, getting marched out is going to be the 88 of Nick Ham. That's going back. Dale Jarrett having some trouble and scrambling to get back up to the front, as right now his UPS machine almost contacting the wall. He's able to hang on, but he is still falling back as the Home Depot of Tony Stewart working his way on the inside.
Yeah, this is a very bumpy track. This is the old Daytona 2005. You watch these cars, we might even get a little in cockpit view. We've got, their teeth are rattling. This is a very, very bumpy track.
Yeah, many drivers are having a couple of words being said over top of the radio about how somebody else is racing them out there. I can't blame them, honestly, seeing how tough these guys, when they are side by side for the first race of the season. Stella, you'll find a lot of guys trying new builds, new pit crews out there. They're trying a couple of different things to figure out how well these guys are going to work together, especially in the heat of the moment when we get ready to go. Once we start the regular season, next week we'll actually be kicking it off out there for qualifying for the Gatorade 125s that we're going to be seeing these guys go, or the duels as most people know it as. These guys are going to be kind of pushing who's inside, who's outside lane for this upcoming season. Right now, Ryan Housen and Dalton Tucker way off pace here. Fortunately, they will have that stage by about 4.5 laps here. They'll be coming on down. I'm sure 4 tires and fuel for those cars that back out on the racetrack. They will be going. Currently, Josh Conover leading the charge here. Does not seem to be slowing down. Nick Gillis sitting right behind him out there in that 28 machine. I don't know if in the back of my mind between the 28, no, I wasn't sure if that was back when Dale Waltrip was back in the Gatorade car, but I believe this is right about when he started phasing out there just a hair and getting close to retirement.
Yeah, I'm looking out in the chat. We've got LJ Hernandez is already visiting us, and she is interested in your new leaderboard there.
Yes, it is. All right, new stuff, all sorts of stuff here, guys. You're going to learn a ton about things that we are doing out there. Currently, we got our eyes set here on Nick Gillis, currently sitting in that number 2 position. He is battling up toward the front. Gillis has gained 8 positions here on the night, so his Ford Taurus is doing an awesome job. Christopher Heights is up there as well. The driver I don't see is the number 6 out there in the Mark Martin car. Unfortunately, it does not look like the Valvoline machine will be out here turning any sort of laps. I know you guys are probably questioning a little bit, well, who was out there? You know, Mark Martin in the 6th, the Valvoline car, and was able to get it. Haven't seen a driver get ready to populate that car just yet. So we'll see. Hopefully somebody will get it to the inside. Taking a shot here is Cody Smith. Taking a quick little peek down there toward the bottom. And look who tucks in behind.
I don't know, but that he didn't seem to want to stay behind him. It looks like Bass Pro Shops.
Yep, that is going to be Brady Moats out there in the number 1 car. He's out there currently racing. Well, I'm showing us in the number 8 Chevrolet. A little odd here. I don't know if I've got a hiccup on my screen or what exactly is going on, but I see Brady Moats out there in the number 1, currently running in the 8. But I am correct on Josh Conover in the 48 Chevrolet. Yes. Out there normally. We've seen him out there in the number 8 DEI machine, so we'll see if a few guys are changing up on their teams. That should be huge out there. That's why I've been nudging these guys a little bit about their team chat channels out there. Josh Conover running in the Hendrick Motorsport. Currently out down there with Christopher Heights, Vincent Arthur, Nick Gillis, and Wayne Spark. There's a driver we haven't talked about much, and we'll kind of take a peek. I'm sure later on, first caution is out. And that should be for our stage here. Let's see if this does change anything. I'm not showing any sort of speed slowdown here. As of yet, Guyla's still getting at it. Trying to catch up to Josh as the drivers all spread out.
Yeah, we will see how they have set it, whether it is once they have made the entire lap, it actually throws a caution. If they are doing just a competition caution, may or may not stop these fellas as far as a yellow flag. Sometimes they get points as far as the finishing order, and then sometimes, here comes our pace car. Sometimes they just, have to come to a stop with the pace car or continue racing, and they just get it as they pass the line.
Yep, so a lot of things are changing up here, especially right now. They are currently halfway through their 12th lap out there. So caution is out. This is a competition caution. As they line up behind the pace car, they'll be coming down. This is their opportunity. They will have enough fuel to go ahead and make it on through here for a pit stop. Looks like 4 tires and fuel, or will it be 2 tires and fuel? Honestly, Stella, we'll see if guys are having to make, actually in the real shootout, it will be a competition caution here. They'll have an opportunity. Normally it was about 10 minutes. They'll come down. They're able to make pretty much a 4-tire change fuel and then make some adjustments. This actually saved the number 8 out there of Dale Jr. that actually thought he had a plug wire come off the car. They were able to change out all the plugs there on the right side and the left side. He did have a cylinder down, and it definitely saved Dale Jr.'s race there in the shootout when that came about there in 2005. But it actually ended up getting all the way behind where they ended up replacing the ignition module. He had to come back, get that thing saved, and ran up, but looks like they are not going to pit here.
Wow. Was that a maneuver or what?
Yep.
Do you think that was a little bit of a head game to the rest of the track?
It's a possibility. I would be wondering right now if he's going to try to see if he can hang it out one more lap. Seeing that Conover, Guylas Heights, Sparks, Gladelick, and Vincent Arthur are drivers who did not come down. That is everybody from Hendrick Motorsports. Decide not to come down pit road.
Well, they're being crafty, a little offset for them.
Yep, Joe Gibbs Racing out there from Jacob Gladelick decide to stay out as well. Good to see Wayne Sparks out there in the number 5. That should be out there in the Terry Labonte Kellogg's machine.
So now that means the Joe Gibbs Racing team has kind of split on their tactics since Jake Christenberry came down and Jacob Gladelick did not.
Yeah, decided to stay out. So, a little tangle up there. We'll see as some of our pit road strategies may be changing up just a little bit here. Here's Nick Ham. And a little change up there. Check this out. Boom. What do you think about that there, Stella?
Okay. Yeah, we've had a little bit of everything as far as this pit stop is gone. We've had what looks like a splash and go. We've had what looks like 2 tires, and we've had 4 tires, and heavens to Betsy, it looks like a couple fellas had to have a little repair done too.
Yep, I think I got this right. Nick Ham showing a 10-second flat pit stop time. Rolling back to Jake Christenberry out there in the number 11 FedEx car. He has a 14.850 for a quick pit stop for him. Looks like 4 tires and fuel. Ones I like to point out, drivers like Cody Smith pitting there on lap number 13, 6.6 seconds. So that's very, very fast.
I think that's just fuel and go.
Yep,
yes.
I don't blame him, but will that come back to bite him here in the end?
I think he's probably counting on them going with at least one more caution before the end of the race.
Yep. Pace car lights are out. We will still line up single file this season. Right now, Conover is looking toward the inside line, but they will be starting on the outside here before they get ready to go. Appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTrack Broadcast for the 2005 season here with the National Oval Racing Association. We'll have a few hiccups here and there before we get the season started, but this is a good time and a good place to be doing a lot of testing. Drivers are testing out their pit crews. They're testing out their new teams. Teams have been switching up. We'll be testing out a few things here on the broadcast, seeing what you guys think and what things we are and are not going to use this season. And definitely we'll be holding our breath. Pretty excited. Stella, I can't wait seeing how this upcoming season is going to go. I believe a few different tracks have been changed. If I was reading it right, we're going to be kind of stopping around even some Canadian tracks. I believe we're heading to Sebring as well, as they opt out to keep from going. I believe it was to New Hampshire twice. They're eliminating one of them, and it is switching over to the Sebring race. So they're going to be road coursing a little bit here in the Gen 4 cars.
I think in June, that's the Gilles Viennu? Viennueve?
Sure. Sounds like you're talking with your fingers in your mouth.
Well, I'll tell you, you give it a shot. That's a whole lot of... Yeah, it's all hyphenated and Villeneuve. That's where I'm going to go with it. That should be our Canadian track at the end of June.
Okay. So, quick little hold up here. Looks like we are having to stop here for just a second. Brady Moats actually having to, something happened here. Looked like Brady Moats may have had to, make an extended pit stop here. Looking like they are going to delay the start. So, currently it does look like the stop that they made, a 4-tire stop, will be mandatory here in this upcoming run. So now they're going to run and gun it here to the end, all the way to lap 42. So they are going to have to take a 4-tire stop before they go back out there. I think they're going to be doing that to try to keep from separating the field too much here.
So you're saying all the guys that haven't come down and the ones that did come down but didn't take 4 tires have to go back in? What?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it would end up changing up in the real shootout. Nora's shaking it and changing it up just a little bit here. That way they would have good competition rather than spreading all the cars out here. Well, a couple of guys who did make separation, and that ended up getting 2 packs together. We'll see. What I like about the Budweiser Shootout is, as we kind of veer off course here just a little bit, is something to keep in mind. You know, this is actually I would say the pile-up or the conglomeration of the fastest drivers that we saw last year. We're trying to see who is the fastest of the fastest. Everybody here has won a pole last season. The drivers currently that did not are representing the drivers that did back in 2005. But let's say we get ready to go. Here we are, back under green. We've got 26 laps left to go here in this shootout. Currently still in the lead is going to be Josh Conover, and that Chevy way out front. As Nick Gillis and Christopher Heights in their Ford Tauruses are following closely behind. Currently the number 2 out there of Christopher Heights running out there in the Rusty Wallace paint scheme. Little White Machine taking a peek. Here comes Jacob Gladelick doing what Old Smoke used to do. Down on the bottom there, right now seeing if he can get that Tony Stewart car past the Jeff Gordon machine, but it is not. He's going to lose the position. So Gladelick drops back down to 8th. That is fortunately 8 gained here on the night, but now make it 7. Currently Nick Pressey to the inside. You step out of line here, notice what happens. We are running out of the draft. Gladelick falling back. Whoa, bouncing off the wall. Vincent Arthur, the biggest one out of shape.
back. I'm shocked everybody's still going in the forward direction.
Vincent Arthur heavily damaged on the right side.
Wow, he was bouncing around like a pinball in between everybody, but it was like everybody straightened everybody else out.
Wow. Ricocheting off each other there. Well, let's see if we can take another peek at it. Let's see if we can see Vincent Arthur and what kind of blows this apart. Oh, he didn't know the 42 was to his outside. 42 had just stuck the nose in there.
Look at that recovery. Outstanding.
Let's see if we can take another look at it here. Watch Vincent Arthur. 42 gets a good draft and then floats to the outside. Can't say Cody Smith did anything wrong here, but I don't think the spotter had said anything to Vincent Arthur before he started to fade up the track.
Yeah, that's he was very fortunate actually to hit the guy on the inside of him, or he'd have been out in the grass.
So tough break here for Vincent Arthur. Dead last is where he'll sit now.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt a good bit. So we'll see if if he is able to recover here, get back out there on the track. Down pit road he comes.
Yeah, but still under green. This is going to be painful.
Yeah, hopefully, you would hope that the rest of this race does go green, since there will be a mandatory 4-tire stop in this second segment. So if he is able to throw 4 tires on and get back out there, this should be his opportunity. He's in that number 1 spot. So as soon as they get the tires on, get the repair, he's able to sidestep the clutch and get out. Just got to be very, very careful there not to have any sort of issues as they are coming down pit road now.
I was going to say.
Oh, the 5 almost nudges the 48.
Yes.
Boy, that was close. Yeah, right now the number 5 out there, Wayne Sparks, almost giving Conover a push. We'll see if that ends up giving him any sort of a pit violation for speeding in. It does not appear so yet.
Okay. Boy, and everyone has come in except Vince Arthur, who just basically took his a tad bit earlier.
Yep. Now Vincent Arthur not able to repair a ton of his damage out there. Look who squirts out first. Josh Conover able to get out there. Not bad. Great job by Josh Conover. 14,683. It's his pit stop. Definitely speedy out there. He got it done.
By the look of it, it honestly doesn't look like Vincent Arthur did any repairs. I mean, his time in the pits would be equivalent to no more than a 4-tire change in fuel.
Cody Smith, extended amount of time down pit road. Seems there is a ton of damage on his car. Remember what we saw happen last time when he got mangled out there. He's the 42 car that got pinched between the wall. Here he goes. Taking off now. So the 42 car heading on out. Conover having a battle for the lead. Looks like the 0 car, Nick Presley, was taking a shot. Had it there, I think, for the blink of an eye. Switched back and forth there for a moment. Over the last 10 or 12 seconds, Nick Presley falls back down into 5th. Looks like he got to the outside of Josh Conover there, was able to hold on. And got no help there to the outside. So Presley scrambling to get back onto the draft, scrubbed to the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, looks like Guylis might have been our guy off the wall. The Gatorade machine takes another look to the outside. And honestly, it doesn't look like Christopher Heights is looking to follow along here. That was the little test there by the 28 to see if anybody was going to float up high as well. High side. By riding that Elliott Sadler line up toward the top. Let's see if they can scrape on through. Not bad. So far, so good. Stella, we had one little mix-up there at the restart where there was contact between Vince and Arthur in the 24 and the 42 out there of Cody Smith. Smith having to serve a 53-second pit stop time. That's going to be pretty painful.
Yes, it is. But that puts him a lap down. If we do have another caution, this season we are doing a lucky dog with wave around.
All right, so they were able to push that through. All right, let's take a little peek here at the last lap here by Vincent Arthur. Looks like a 50.594, and the leader's running currently a 48.378. What do you think about that, Stella?
That's not great. That's what, the way I read that, 2 seconds slower per lap.
Yeah, minimum. So currently Vincent Arthur right now on the fall backwards. Currently his separation is 18 seconds off pace. Hopefully he will be able to catch up and have an opportunity to go back at it, but we do not want to see any cars getting damaged here. Remember, you got to take these cars over to the Gatorade 125s and qualifying that we will be seeing next week. So that's going to be...
Cody's back in the pits. It wasn't enough.
Okay, so Cody Smith probably still dealing with some steering issues at right front and is heavily damaged after he ended up getting pinched into the wall. So back down pit road he goes. Currently everybody not really testing each other. Our top five: Josh Conover, Nick Geilis, Christopher Heights, Wayne Sparks, and Nick Cressy sitting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That moves us on to Jacob Gladelick, Brady Motes, who we had to wait for to hold an extra lap there to get him back out on the track. Nick Ham out there in the 88, Dale Jarrett machine, and Dalton Tucker. He is rolling around out there in the number 3, currently sitting in 9th. Jake Christenberry rounding out our top 10. And moving on to Kevin Balmer, who missed just about all of the playoffs. I think he ran the first race and then never returned, so he is back out onto the track. I believe he is currently out there for the DEI team. And we'll see him get back at it here. Ryan Housden, Vincent Arthur, 12 and 13. Cody Smith sitting down in pits. He's now scrubbing against another minute of repairs out there. Stella, so far so good. Here for the race, I would say if you're in the top 5, you got to be feeling pretty good about that 8-second difference between them and the second pack.
Oh, yeah, and it's interesting because we've got that first pack of 5, then we've got a pack of 4 with, like you say, Brady Motes, Nick Ham, Dalton Tucker, and Jacob Gladelick. And then again, 8 seconds behind that, we have the final ones: Jake Christenberry, Kevin Baumler, Ryan Housen, and Vincent Arthur. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to be at Daytona here for 4 weeks. Now, tonight's Budweiser Shootout. We have qualifying next week, followed by the 3rd week with Daytona Duels, and then we actually will be running Daytona for points on February 2nd.
Yeah, you are correct. And this is all the setup really here, is everybody shaking the cobwebs off here, getting used to their new pit crews, and changing things up. Right now, the drivers are talking to the crew chiefs, telling them every single thing that's happening, because some of these are new cars out here, things are changing up a little bit. I mean, if they hear a weird little rattle, an interesting vibration, they are starting to really try to talk as much as they can to their crew chiefs and the pit crew out down there of what is going on with the race car. And once they do that, they're going to make a quick little change up there, make some modifications to get this thing right. Then we head to qualifying. They qualify to go ahead and line themselves up of who is racing in bracket 1 and who is racing in bracket 2 of the Gatorade 125s that we will see the week after for qualifying. That will determine inside and outside lane for these guys to shuffle up again. If they have a horrible race there, when they head to the Daytona 500 on February 2nd, you said? That'll be the starting lineup, but we will see these guys go at it here. All right, scrub to the wall as we were kind of chatting there a little bit. The Rusty Wallace machine has ricocheted off the wall. That's going to allow Conover and Geilis to get a little bit of separation here if they don't get their act together. Marching down toward the bottom, it looks to be Wayne Sparks there. And the number 5 is having to run in the back following Nick Cressy. Got to give Pressey a quick little push here, or otherwise they are getting ready to lose the draft.
Yeah, speaking of losing the draft, I'm afraid that number 42 of Cody Smith has decided to take it back to the garage. No more drafting for him tonight.
All right, rather unfortunate. Scrub to the wall again. Nick Gillis this time. Yeah, Gillis hammering off the wall here. Not looking good. As the 28 having some trouble.
Nick Pressey, wee into the infield. We are under caution, and they are still swimming.
All right, Nick Pressey and Christopher Heights involved in this one. So the driver of the Mike Bliss machine, and I'm showing Christopher Heights out there in the Rusty Wallace car, getting spun around and hammered out there. Fortunately, caution does come out. And the only reason, fortunately, is that is going to allow drivers like Jake Christenberry, who was about 2.5 light years off pace, is getting ready to catch up. And we will get these guys clumped back together. Unfortunately, we are keeping an eye out there on Jake Christenberry. We did see some smoke coming out of the back of that car.
Yes. That's exactly where I was going with that.
But also keep in mind here, Stell, we are at the Legacy Daytona track. This was before the pave. So this track is extremely bumpy. As you can see already, Christopher Heights having a bump and bob and weave out there. As Heights gets ready to run and gun up toward the front. I'm still seeing some smoke coming out of the back of that car.
Yeah, that is not good.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's trying to save the engine here. Hopefully he's not laying down any oil or coolant out there on the track. All right, car's still underneath its own power here, so heading down pit road for Christopher Heights, I can guarantee that. But it was oddly peculiar out there. Did you notice we had about 4 or 5 cars getting loose, especially up there in the front pack?
Nick Pressey took off into the infield even, and but seems to have recovered.
Yeah, staying out on the track, oddly enough, is the number 2 of Christopher Heights.
Okay. Coming in, Vincent Arthur, Ryan Housden, Jake Christenberry, and Jacob Gladlick in for his second round.
Let's see if this works. There we go.
Okay.
All right, so we got 10 laps left to go here. This has been all Josh Conover's race. So second caution comes out here for the night. Currently Jacob Gladlick out there in the number 20. Extended amount of time down pit road.
Now we still have a couple fellas that have only come down once. Our top 3 currently, Conover, Gillis, and Wayne Sparks, have only come down pit road once. And like you say, Christopher Heights is still out there. He has only come down the one time also.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on Christopher Heights. I'm just wondering if he's got some sort of a tire rub there. Because it seems the smoking has stopped. Boy, that'd make me nervous.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, checking out there in the chat. Looks like Thomas Harkins is here. Finger wag to you. All right, checking out there. Quick little update out there from Jacob Gladelick. Looks like the 20 machine able to fix some of that damage to his race car. He said this is actually back from the lap 42 to 24 incident here. So, looks like everything pretty square. Stella, honestly, I would love to see iRacing give us a nice little update and add one of our cars out there during this time. If I'm not mistaken, this should be... Okay, there's one for you. Is this the year that Dodge returned?
Lord.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain Dodge returned here in 2005, meaning Tony Stewart pulled out of the Pontiac.
Okay. Let's see, 2005. So you're saying that Tony Stewart would not be in the 20?
He will be in the 20. What's his car manufacturer this year?
Okay. Stand by.
All right, so I'm assuming this will be the only caution that we will see here unscheduled tonight. Conover will have his hands full here because I think this is right when everybody starts testing if they can get around. Right now we're noticing that if drivers do pop out by themselves, they lose a ton of speed, unable to pass, and back they go. Nick Pressey definitely knows that. He shuffled back to the 5th spot. Fortunately, he is holding on to 4th right now. Pace car lights are out. They're going to try to squeeze up and back under green. You guys think about that in the tower. Go. All right. Conover, Guylas, Sparks. Great jump here. That gives them almost almost half a second jump over top of the rest of the field here. They might have started a little bit in a different gear. They are hopping out front and charging forward. 9 laps left to go here. Boy, solid separation here. Bringing up the back of the field is Dalton Tucker in the number 3 Chevrolet, currently sitting there in 6th. Getting a decent squeeze out. Looked like he was up to half a second. Huge run there. Nick Ham leading that charge. Ham getting ready to reel him in here. We'll rotate back to our 7th position. Everybody knows here at Simtrax Broadcasting, we do not hover on our top 5 all night. Definitely try to keep it spicy out there on the track, get everybody a little bit of a chance. So here's Nick Ham in the 88 Ford, currently sitting in 7th. You guys might remember a little bit from last season, and no poking at Nick Ham, running in the back most of last season, but I think he's going to be a little up on the steering wheel this season. Right now he's promised out there that he's going to be more of a factor than he was last year. He wants to definitely keep the sponsor out there on the car and move his way up to the front, see if he can bag himself a couple of top 5s here as he gets ready to go. Right now as he tucks in behind, watching Brady Moats, deciding to take the bottom with Dalton Tucker. Quick separation here. That is going to give the DEI team something to think about. Those two had made the separation. No Kevin Ballmer or Ryan Housden for any assistance there. In the back, Ballmer currently sitting in 8th and Housden back in 13th. No extra help there. Moving on to Vincent Arthur's now up to 9th. Watch the shift. Here it comes. 24 out there in the Pepsi machine, loose again.
Man, oh man, these guys are really pushing it. Yeah, as far as Tony Stewart being in Pontiac, he was there until 2002. He went to Chevrolet in 2003 until 16.
Ah, okay. So he had made the move.
Yeah.
Okay.
17 to 24.
Okay. Do we have anything where Dodge came in? I thought 05 is when our Dodges showed up. I may be incorrect. Wayne Sparks sitting third, still moving on. And I'm waiting to see. Brady Moats is noticing he might be running out of time here. Sure, this racetrack is only 2.5 miles long.
2001.
Yep, but with 5 laps left to go here, he's going to be running out of real estate if he can't find a battle buddy out there to push forward.
Yeah, they came back in 2001. You might be thinking in 5 is the Intrepid. Ended up was replaced by the Dodge Charger.
Ah, okay. So that's the switch. All right, Stella, we are getting these guys at 190 miles an hour down the backstretch. As they continue to stretch it out here. Right now making a solid separation from the number 2 car out there, Christopher Heights. Heights is now off by over 2 seconds. And still falling backwards. It is going to hurt. I think he's now 4.2 off, and everybody falling back. Cody Smith is taking it back to the garage. Ryan Housden, our dead last here, he is poking out there about 9 seconds. 9.5 off pace, excuse me. Seeing at the number 15 car. The number 15 car out there was driven by Michael Waltrip. Yes, it was. Waltrip actually had a pretty decent race here.
Yeah, you guys might be noticing we have a definite bright side and dark side to this track right now. That sun is starting to set. Curious whether that's going to bring in anything in these last few laps with the track cooling off.
How were we on lights around this time?
Lights went in back in '98, I think.
Okay. I knew Charlotte was the first one to put lights up for the night race, but then we kind of poked around a little bit here at Daytona, whether they had lights on or not. Boy, look at this move. Here we go. Brady Moats taking a look to the inside. Moats gets to the inside and gets way loose. That unfortunately moves right now Wayne Sparks around just a little bit. That's going to mess him up just a hair. But looks like we got 1, 2, 3 people to the inside. Currently the 81 needs to make up the gap. Brady Moats turns into a missile and hits Vincent Arthur left front wheel, missing off the number 1. Heavy damage from Brady Moats. There goes the right front wheel.
My goodness. Oh, look. His wheel is chasing him back around the turn.
Yeah, I would be curious if that is even his wheel. I know Vincent Arthur. Yep, he's on all 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's just not something you see every day. I do not believe he's
no, he is not going to be able to turn.
Yep.
Yep, Brady Moats cannot make it back. Has some heavy damage.
So, lap 40 of 42. We are back under caution. Love to see a repeat of that one just to see, because Nick Pressey was also involved in that.
Yep, Brady Moats trying to do what he can to see if he can get back to the pit box. Here's an overhead look. Oh, Moats. Pressey into the 24. Great job there by Nick Ham. Doing exactly what he said. That'll get him 6th position. As he was able to floss through that one.
So did Kevin Baumler. I mean, talk about close.
That's gonna get you with this season. Oh boy. So look at the 88 here of Nick Ham. I mean, what a move here to watch all this kind of unfold in front of him.
Oh, nice shot.
What a great move and a great piece of driving there by the 88.
Absolutely.
All right, Ned Jarrett would be proud of that driving.
He made it into his...
He is. I'm not even going to entertain it. Right now, the process is just absolutely falling apart here. 3rd caution out here for the night. This has been all Josh Conover's race. Wow. All right, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, checking out there in the chat. There we go. So the Intrepid, the 01 was the first race. Evernham and CGR switched to Dodge that season.
There you go. So we are probably going to encounter one of the new changes for the 2005 season. Now, mind you, they started this particular item partway through the season, but Nora has decided rather than picking a race where it comes into play, the green-white checker will be in effect this season. Due to the fact that we just had that caution on lap 40, we're probably going to look at 3 laps. We're going to have a green-white checker to finish this race.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Getting pretty excited here once these guys get going again. All right, you're talking about that temperature dropping a little bit. 77 degrees out there. The clouds are still floating on by. Still does not seem to be affecting the drivers here too much. I would say the looseness is definitely tripping them up just a little bit. Brady Moats, unfortunately, down in pit road as he deals with damage. But as I say that, snap your fingers and guess who's back.
Oh. No way. 23 seconds in the pit. And he looks that good?
Not bad for missing 2 front tires.
Yeah. Huh. A few items of curiosity in my book. This will remain a fixed setup league this season?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
It will not be an open setup league, no.
Okay. And
I knew there were talks of it being a modified fixed setup race. Sorry.
It's okay. That's the first time I've heard you ever not be the quick on the draw mute button.
Oh, with the hiccup? Oh, yeah, that was my fault.
No, what the heck can plan for that kind of thing? Okay, I was just wondering because we do have some changes. I mean, the Lucky Dog and Wave Arounds are new. The green-white checkers are new this season, and we have an increase in the cause caution limits. Let's see, a little bit of suspension issues. We do have now 17X will earn you a drive-through. 24 will be DQ'd.
That'll be fun for the road races. All right, back under caution immediately here. They took off and went right back under caution here. I don't know if somebody slipped up here. We'll see if we can take a peek. Here's the start. Let's see if something happened here in the back. Yeah, I'm almost wondering if somebody re-racked and something went wrong. Oh, there they are. Right there. Not caught up to the field. So Vincent Arthur and Brady Moats didn't get caught up there. And they throw the caution back out. They're going to run around and catch the pace car. I would say that this was caused by a pit stop by those two gentlemen there in the back, which got them so far off pace.
Okay. Any idea what the laps are on a tank of fuel here? What a fuel window is.
No, not with this short of a race. I'm not sure. I do see Josh Conover having a visit in the pit road.
Yeah, the 26 laps on fuel. The last time they were at Nora, last time Nora was at Daytona, we had a fuel window of 26 laps. So some of these fellas had come down on lap 20. That's exactly what I was looking to ask, because now we're on lap 46, 45. They're running out of gas.
Now that's going to really hurt for Josh Conover.
Yes.
To try to come away with the win here, that's not going to work. But notice Dalton Tucker has been out there.
Yes, Dalton Tucker is still out there from lap 20. The other fellas I was just looking at, they just came down. So.
Yeah, that's even longer than when Cody Smith came down, and he actually took it back to the garage on lap 23.
Mm-hmm.
So Dalton Tucker showing these guys he's got a little extra fuel in there. I have done the old basketball trick.
Okay.
Back in the day, have you ever heard of the Dale Waltrip BBs in the roll cage?
That I have heard about.
Okay, so what used to be an old tale is drivers would put a deflated basketball into the gas tank, because during inspection you had to have a full tank and then be weighed. They would stick 2 or 3 of these things in there, reinflate them, and then fill it up with fuel. When you pop the cap, you look, it's a full tank. And what they were able to do is actually found a way of cheating these guys that they had extra fuel. They were able to squeeze another 5 gallons in there. By taking up the room. So if you're supposed to have a 22-gallon gas tank, what you do is then you fill it up with more with the basketball. Then you deflate them, pull the basketballs out, and then during race time, you have the room that the basketballs were in.
Okay.
Yeah, nice little trick. The guy's able to squeeze out another 5 to 6 laps.
Yeah, now, if we're running 100% fuel at Daytona, they can go between 34 and 36 laps. But are we not running short? Running like a 70% fuel?
Yes.
Okay. Then this shall be interesting to see if Dalton Tucker can hang on.
Yep.
He's done some numbers like that, I'll tell you.
Yeah, but having to at least go 2 times around. So he's got to cross the line here and then cross it again. So, I mean, he's got to figure out how to make another 5 to 6 miles. That's going to be pretty tough for him here.
Yeah, right now he's on the edge. 26 laps. We're at lap 46 coming into 47. Yeah, should be interesting.
Out there in the chat, Smokey Eunuch has entered the chat.
What? Okay.
I believe we might have our basketball trickster. All right, check this out. Jacob Gladelick is going to get us back to the restart here. Dalton Tucker, quick sidestep out to the side here. We'll have 2 laps left to go. Starting to separate here. Gladelick would like to make the block. Dalton Tucker to the inside. Tucker showing he's earned his spot with the most amount of poles last season. And last season's champ out in front. Starting to take a peek. Dalton Tucker fading off. Here we go. Notice the number 3 not getting any help. Kellogg's machine makes up the gap, and now he's behind him. Currently has Wayne Sparks looking to come into play. Here's the number 20 holding out front. Can Pressey push a little bit harder? Currently spinning out here in the back. It looks like Vincent Arthur again.
No.
Does the caution come out? No, white flag is out.
Oh.
Switching lanes here for Jacob Gladelick down on the bottom. The battle of the Chevys here in the front. All top 5 are sitting as Chevrolets. Here they come. Currently, watch how that Dale Earnhardt car smashes off the door.
Oh,
Nick Pressey.
Around.
Around they go. Yep, Josh Conover. Brady Moats. Everybody mixed up. We're going to stick with our racers up front here. These guys ran out of real estate. It's going to be a drag race through turn 3. Now 4. Currently, Dalton Tucker hanging high side. Gladelick. The nudge.
Gladelick gives him a push.
Welcome to Dalton Tucker's going to give it right back here. And Gladelick across the line.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Jacob Gladelick, Dalton Tucker, Ryan Houston, Wayne Sparks, and Nick Ham, our top 5, of course, unofficial results.
Brady Moats just trying to cross the line here. Wow. That was a pretty wicked wreck there we had on the backstretch.
Let's see.
All right, as we try to scramble here to see if we can find you guys exactly what happened. Right up the center. Target car, number 15, Ryan Housden. Everybody's squeaking through. Here's Gladelick.
There was some contact there.
3 wide, 81 sends it up the center. Here's the bump. Yeah, that is Conover trying to get back into the lead.
Yes. Oh.
And Housden, hard push.
Real hard.
Brady Moats, full send.
Full. I was gonna say, says I'm taking it out of the middle. My goodness.
Conover missing the right front wheel.
An entire team there.
Yep.
This.
There's the knock into the 3.
And he says, oh, well, I can give that back.
All right, 1, 2, and 3. So, really, the top 3 only finished within a tenth of themselves. That was close.
Yeah, 0.06. Yeah, was it behind? Wow. Yep, 1/10 from first to third. Very, very cool. There we go.
All right, Jacob Gladelick getting in there.
He says, I'm guaranteeing my spot for next year's Bud Shootout.
Yes. Yeah, this is just being able to claim any kind of bragging rights out there. Jacob Gladelick getting in the side of Dalton Tucker. I know everybody has been kind of rallying out there a little bit, saying Dalton Tucker Somebody's going to bet their life on it out there that Dalton is going to bring away the next 2005 season out there for another win and another great job out there that we've seen by our drivers. Awesome job out here. We'll get a little bit of a chat out there with a couple of them. We won't spend too much time. This is the Bud Shootout, so pretty wild what we saw go on out here. Ryan Housen, you got a copy on me, everybody?
Yeah, I got you, Pat.
All right. Well, you were able to gun it and make it to the end here. That was close.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, we were able to floss through. Talk to me a little bit about why the number 15 was hanging in the back of the pack most of the day.
Well, really, I'd like to lie to you and say it was strategy, but honestly, I just couldn't keep the draft a couple of times. Some restart stuff. Just if you're like more than a car length back on some of these restarts, I mean, you lose the draft. The car has no pull, so I lost the draft a couple of times, but we got just enough cautions for it to work out. So.
All right. Well, we'll have qualifying in the Gatorade 125s. I'm sure all that will come into play. And you learned a little bit here tonight. Congratulations on your third place finish. Ryan, go and give me a shout outs for the sponsors and people out here watching, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to Mom watching home. Shout out to Dalton, Brady, Kevin for picking me up on the DEI this year. I know I was in the Target car, but there's some trading paints malfunctions that wouldn't let me load up the Michael Waltrip Napa 15, which I'm excited to run this year. But yeah, shout out to all those guys and all those guys for making the paints and stuff. So looking forward to a fun season. It was a cool way to kick it off. Not a big fan of how this car runs plate tracks, but hopefully the 500's a little bit more action packed.
Yeah, well, I know there were talks of possibly moving to the new Gen 4 or switching back to the old Gen 4 for at least the plate track. So Ryan, we'll definitely hold our breath and see if that is what is to come. Hopefully you guys just kind of stick to what it is. You guys made the modifications and the changes you need to make here tonight, and hopefully it doesn't get too crazy. Congratulations, buddy, here in third place, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, thanks, man. Talk to you guys again.
Oh, yeah. All right, that is him calling his shot there, saying he's going to talk to us again.
Yes.
That moves us to Dalton Tucker out there in the number 3. Little door-to-door banging out there. Everybody's assuming that Dalton Tucker was going to take away the win, but it looks like the number 20 goes ahead and steals it from you here in the last quarter mile.
Yeah, that was really fun. A lot of door banging. I don't think you could ask for anything more than that.
Cars are extremely touchy when it gets up around these speeds. Little nudge, guys getting popped out of the draft. Things, oddly enough, Dalton, you were hanging toward the back. Strategy here tonight.
It definitely was not hanging out towards the back. It seemed like every time I could get where I want to be, something would happen. It would drop me back. I'd lose the draft, and honestly, it was just a miracle just to be somewhat back grouped up again, because we thought once it got spread out, we were kind of screwed back there.
Yeah, well, a lot of guys had popped out trying to get a run up toward the front. Dalton, I noticed you were working a little bit out there with Brady Moats even. Is there anybody out there that you're like, okay, when we get to the 500 or we get into the 125s here in the next couple of weeks, confidence level heading with somebody out there?
Yeah, I'd say my teammates in general, just trying to stay with them, and it's going to be very tough. I'm sure y'all could see how bad the draft was, and you try to pull out, you immediately lose it. And me and Brady tried it about 10 to go or somewhere like that, and I was unfortunate, lost the draft, and I thought it was over at that point. So I think going into the big race, it's going to be even more important and more cars, so it should be interesting, but it's going to be a handful.
I would say, is there a lucky number of cars that need to be out of line here for a two-lane racing to work? I mean, or is we going to be looking at single file for, 120 laps?
Honestly, I don't know the magical number, but I would assume 10-plus cars need to be on the bottom just to kind of stick with them. And the side draft is just extremely strong, and it'll pull you back in a heartbeat. And if you're that last car, you could very easily be screwed from it.
Wow. Yuck. All right. Well, new car, new paint, New all sorts of stuff going on, new track, and definitely but familiar faces out there. Dalton Tucker is one of them, returning back as the last season's champ. All right, Dalton, go and give me a shout-out here, brother.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Brady and Harpoon, I think on graphics maybe, but he did the paint for me. I thought it'd be cool to bring Dale Earnhardt to the league, and unfortunately, I think I got the Dale Earnhardt luck from Daytona for him, and couldn't pull this one off. But it was cool to have his paint, and hopefully I can kind of switch it up here and there and run a bunch of them, kind of as some people say, doing it for Dale. So it'd be cool to do that this season. Shout out to my team, Brady, Kevin, and Ryan. I think we'll have a good strategy for the big race. Just got to try to make it in one piece.
That's easier said than done. Definitely easier said than done. Dalton Tucker, congratulations on a second place finish, buddy. I have a feeling we're going to be talking to you a whole bunch this upcoming season. Congratulations. We'll see you in the next couple races.
All right, appreciate it, man.
All right, Dalton Tucker, everybody, in the second place. Looks like something's going on with our race winner. Has already stomped his way back into the race trailer and seems to be already celebrating. We don't want him slobbering all over the place. So congratulations to Jacob Gladelick coming down and winning this one. He takes away the first win here of the season. Unfortunately, it is a exhibition race, so he gets the bragging rights for this upcoming round. We'll see if that Tony Stewart car can see if he can reprise his role in many, many races to come. Stella, look a bit at this, how this race kind of all panned out here. This definitely, wow, look at that. All panned out, and everything was A-OK right here at the end. Daytona is going to be interesting, especially when the cars are racing around like this.
Oh yeah, this is a good lead up though. I mean, that was a terrific finish. We had some bumps, some grinds. It is what it is. But Jacob does send a little message to us that was Harpoon Designs that took care of that car for Dalton Tucker.
All right, beautiful. All right, we'll definitely double check and make sure. Even some of the guys are saying there is some trading paints issues. I believe you. I've got some myself. I'm excited to see what all these guys have got going on. I know if you guys are used to racing now, wearing a T-shirt out there that had Dalton Tucker in the 42 or Josh Conover in the 8, or a couple of these guys are switching up their numbers out there. Yeah, you better get back to the merchandise trailer, because we're going to be switching these guys all up all season. So we're going to be seeing how they do here tonight. But that's going to do it for us here at SimTrax Broadcasting. Be well, be safe, be kind. We'll see all you guys next time.